back to the channel, everyone. My name is Luke, and I'm getting close to having this home studio office finished. I finally have everything painted. You can see I've got a few of my posters back. Haven't hung them up yet, but over time, you'll probably see as this room progresses, and eventually I'll kind of set up an official kind of backdrop or something. At least it'll look cooler than just an empty thing or posters against the wall. But today I want to do my full review on Cocaine Bear. Caught this at the early screening last night, and what a ride. Really, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen a lot, or at least you know kind of what this movie is about. And because this is based off of true events, I'm just going to kind of go into everything. So if you want to go spoiler free, let's go watch the movie and then come back and check out this video. But also because this is based on a true event, I mean, you can look up the actual event that happened. But Cocaine Bear, we have an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. And that's like honestly the best way to sum it up. This is a synopsis on IMDb. This was directed by Elizabeth Banks. The writer on this is Jimmy Warden. I looked him up, and looks like the two other things that this person has worked on is the Babysitter movies that are on Netflix, actor in one and writer on another. And then you have a really interesting cast on this. You have Keri Russell, who's one of the main stars. Ray Liotta, this is one of his final films, plays Sid, who is kind of this lead in terms of drug dealers, drug traffickers that's working for the cartel. You also have Alden Ehrenreich, OShea Jackson Jr., Isaiah Whitlock Jr., and many others. I think really one of the more standout performances for me was Christian Convery, maybe mispronouncing that, apologies, who plays Henry, who's one of the little kids, and really eats up the screen time, has a lot of fun with this. You also have Brooklyn Prince, who plays Dee Dee. And so within Cocaine Bear, we do have multiple storylines going on all at the same time. You have all of these different people that kind of have their own objectives of what they're trying to accomplish. And while all of this is going on, we have this black bear who stumbles across a bag of cocaine, ingests it, and then basically just goes on this rampage where it looks for more cocaine and just attacks anyone that's in its path. So if you look at the true event that happened, basically a plane, someone on a plane is dumping cocaine across Georgia, and a bear does find some of this cocaine, ingest it, and essentially dies. In the true event, they did find the bear, which basically had its heart and some other organs just explode through ingesting so much cocaine. And that was kind of it. I don't know if they ever actually found all of the bags. I don't know any of the other people really involved. But looking into an interview, it looks like Elizabeth Banks and her team did a lot of research, found all these videos, newspapers, etc., about this event, so that way they could capture the essence of that and try to get all the clothing to match what these people were wearing that they see. So a lot of the people in this are inspired from like interviews and things like that. But one of the main stories that we have here is Keri Russell's character, who is a nurse who's dating, has a daughter. Her daughter's wanting to go paint a picture of these waterfalls in this forest, so they're kind of clashing on their schedule there. And essentially the daughter gets with her friend Henry, and they kind of skip school to go look for these waterfalls and end up finding this bear and kind of running for their lives to try to stay alive. So we do have Keri Russell's character coming back. So a lot of this is the mother in search for her daughter. At the same time, we have Ray Liotta's character of Sid, who is basically in trouble because he's lost all of this cocaine. He needs to go get it because his job is to sell this for the cartel. And then he has his son Eddie, and then Eddie's friend David, however you want to pronounce it. Their job is basically to go find this cocaine as well. Eddie just lost his wife. He has a son, so he's grieving. I thought a lot of his early scenes were a little, I don't know, I don't even really know how to describe it. I was just kind of like, I hope he's not like this through the whole movie, and he does eventually lighten up. But these are a couple of the other main characters because they're trying to go find all of this cocaine because they don't want, they're trying to make their money. And Sid, kind of reveals like, look, like if you don't do this, like our whole family's in jeopardy. So around this as well, we also have Ranger Liz, who is basically trying to flirt with this other ranger type person. Not really a ranger, but more like this kind of someone who knows all about wildlife and knows the area. So she's attracted to him, so she's trying to do this. There's also this group of kids, these teenagers who are just kind of at that stage of life where they're just causing trouble, not really sure what they want to do, but they ambush people that come to this forest and steal from them. So you've got them going on. You've got Keri's character who ends up meeting with Ranger Liz. And then you also at the beginning have a couple of hikers who first encounter the bear. So all these mix and match stories, all these different personalities who eventually all meet at some point in the movie. And then you also have this Detective Bob, who's, I don't know, his whole storyline didn't really work for me. Essentially this older detective who's trying to adopt a dog to be his, man's best friend. Just kind of at that stage of life where he seems lonely, trying to find a companion, working with other officers who have their own stories that we find out later. There's just so much going on in this 90-minute film. And in between all of that, we have this bear that just goes crazy and basically is on the look for more cocaine, and anyone that gets in its path it destroys. Definitely some highlight scenes. We have this scene where the bear goes back to like the main forest kind of check-in point where the ranger stays. Destroys some people there. This is when like the ambulance shows up, and we have this ambulance chase sequence that you see in the trailer that's pretty much a standout moment. And then we do get more standout moments near the end because we discover that this bear is female and has a couple of baby cubs, so we have some moments with the baby cubs. And it's just this gory rampage, action-filled chase. There's just a lot of stuff going on in this movie. Overall, for what it is, it works. It's very self-aware. There are tons of moments that will have you laughing, and just the reactions that all these people and the kids have. And some of the dialogue works. Some of this dialogue just feels like filler. I mean, they're trying to take this very simple story and turn it into a 90-minute feature film. So most of these stories don't really work, but for the moments that you get with this bear, it's definitely worth it. My understanding is some gory scenes were cut out from this. I do kind of wish there would be a director's cut. Would love to check out some more of these scenes because I do feel like it holds back. It does enough because you do get a lot of limbs flying all over the place. You do get a moment where the bear sniffs a line of coke off of a severed leg, which is pretty crazy. But I will say, like, in terms of all the actors, I think everyone really owns the role that they're giving and just eats up the camera time. Some of them are super silly. Some of them get a little serious. Some of them, the dialogue doesn't work, but it kind of works for what this is. Granted, I wouldn't say this is going to be a standout movie in any way. This is one I could easily see coming to, like, Shudder or some streaming service pretty soon and just be like, this could have worked really well if it just popped up on a streaming service versus a theatrical run. But I think overall, it's a good theater experience, especially if you get a group of people. The theater experience I had was really fun. A lot of people were there. Everyone seemed to have a good time. A lot of laughs. A lot of just bigger moments where you're just like, no. But yeah, Cocaine Bear, I mean, for what this movie is, I will give it an 8 out of 10. High rating for what it is. I mean, again, this is nothing like crazy or standout, but it's very self-aware of what it is. If anything, I will say the script could have used a little bit more work, maybe reduce some of these multiple storylines and focus a little bit more on a couple, because you do get that sense that this is kind of like a, you know, almost like a Transformer or even like a dinosaur film. Like you're having to deal with a main animal type character, but you've got to fit in all these people and give them stories or something to really care about. But in a sense, a lot of the characters you do end up caring about. Some of them are forgettable. And some of them you're kind of rooting for the bear to just take some people down, which it does. So yeah, Cocaine Bear. Can't believe we got this film in 2023. If you saw this, let me know what you thought in the comments. Also this weekend, Megan is streaming on Peacock, and we're getting an uncut, kind of like a director's cut type version that's got some more scenes in it. It's supposed to be a little bit more gory. So I'm going to check that out this weekend. But if you saw Cocaine Bear, what did you think? Let me know in the comments. Would love to know. Be sure to like and subscribe. Got some new subscribers this weekend, so thank you so much for joining this channel. Say hi in the comments below. Would love to get to know more people. Longer review than I was expecting, but still had fun with this one. So fun watch, good weekend film. So anyway, I'm gonna cut it off here. We'll see you in the next review. A lot of stuff coming in March, so expect a lot of reviews throughout this next month. Can't wait to check out Creed 3, Sorry for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Dungeons and Dragons is coming out soon. Had a lot of movies coming out in March, so be sure to check back for more reviews soon. Everyone have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
You are watching